Hey folks, it's Patriot Nurse, and I hope you'll pardon the quality of today's video. My microphone went down, and so I'm using a different camera. But what I want to talk about with you guys today, this weekend, is a series of happenings and trends in this nation I think that are very troubling to a lot of us who value the United States Constitution. So the first thing is, of course, the assault weapons ban. That is probably not going to go anywhere, because I think there's a fair bit of people, despite the fact that they're intellectually handicapped, being Democrats and consistently voting against the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, and having 30% of their own party allegiant to a socialist, they know what's best for them. And I think they know that in the grand scheme of things, trying to ban these weapons from the American people is not going to go anywhere. Because in 1994, there's something we didn't have, and that is tens of thousands of battle-hardened veterans who are intimately familiar with the manipulation and marksmanship needed to effectively utilize these rifles. And if they try and ban them, it would not go very well for them, because we're not going to give them up, and we're not going to stop having access to them. It's interesting that our illustrious potentate, despite posturing and saber-rattling, to the effect that he was going to use an executive order to take up weapons or do something about the gun problem we have here in the United States. He didn't do a damn thing. And I'll tell you exactly why. Because these people are soft. They are, in Reed's words, paper tigers. And effectively, they know that if they were to do that, that it would kick off exactly what they fear, and that's losing control. Okay? And we need to have some honest conversations right now. And it pains me to say it. There's nothing that I think is enjoyable about the following subject, but we are headed for, at the very minimum, civil unrest in the United States. I think it's very fair to say that we have a substantial amount of people, depending on how you view it, 30% of self-described Democrats in the United States who are allegiant to a socialist. I don't give a shit if it's Democratic Socialist. You can't slick up a mule and make it a racehorse, guys. The same failed philosophies are exactly identical, regardless of what bumbling buffoon and likable old farts you put in front of them, okay? All you have to do is to go. All these people are like, oh, it's new. Democratic socialism is... Give me a break. Go to the website and look at the manifesto. It's the same damn thing. It's the same thing. So we've got 30% of the Democratic voters in this country who are allegiant to a socialist. We have parts of Congress who, for all intents and purposes, are politically posturing, but they're doing it nonetheless in an attempt to strip us of our Bill of Rights. You can't coexist with this portion of the population who are de facto Tories. A statist is a statist, regardless of what century they may fall in. The same people who sold out their neighbors to the British are the same ones who love Bernie Sanders, the same ones who love Hillary Clinton, the same people who love the state. They love control. Why? Because they fundamentally misunderstand human nature. And they really have a low estimation of other people's ability to control themselves and to exercise diligence and perseverance and restraint, because they themselves lack it. There is a substantial portion of people in this country, guys, who are doing exactly what the statists did in the 1770s. Okay? The lead up is very similar. The posturing is very similar. I thought at one point that it would show up, that whatever's coming, and make no mistake, it's coming, all right? I hope that I'm wrong, but historically I know I'm not. I thought at one time that it might show up as a civil war along geographic lines, but I don't think that's the case. I think definitely you have certain states that are less of status lovers than others, but the issue tends to be the cities versus rural areas, and it's really always been this way. In the cities, you have a bunch of people who are effectively loyalists to the state and who not only love the state as it is, but who want more state government. And then you have people like me who actually work for a living, who actually own their own companies, who create jobs, who work for themselves. And then you have people who have spent 7, 10 years of their life in academia who do nothing but peddle bullshit ideas, have a couple pieces of paper because they went into debt for them, and therefore they think they're smarter than you and me. People like this are no different than the ones who sold out their brothers, again, to the British during the Revolution. So you got to ask yourself, what is this going to look like? We're getting to the point now, guys. There is no reconciling these differences. And I'm really tired of hearing people say, oh, you're being divisive, or united we stand, divided we are already divided. And I have no desire to be united with people. I don't care if they call themselves American. Their actions speak differently. You want to support a candidate whose life goes against every fundamental tenet of the Constitution of the United States? You're not an American. You don't deserve any sympathy from me. You don't deserve any allegiance from me. If you want to live here in the United States, you want to be an American citizen, the Constitution is the prerequisite. Your assent to the Constitution is the prerequisite for being here. You don't like the Constitution? You don't like a republic as a form of government? You want to have a socialist utopia, despite the fact that it has never worked, ever, anywhere? You have no track record of success, and a heavy track record of abysmal failures, genocide, misery, and suffering? You don't belong here. So guys, what I'm telling you, the assault weapons ban, the Bernie Sanders stuff, the heavy swath of the American populace, the past 2 generations, I'm not trying to generalize people in generations, but we've got 2 generations of very soft people, very soft, who are used to strongly worded letters. That is going to change soon. We're at the point where we can't reconcile our differences anymore. Redressment of grievances is very difficult. Do I still participate in the political process? Absolutely. But it's coming. So what can we do? Part of the reason why I teach the classes the way that I do is that my fundamental assumptions are that for whatever reason it is not desirable or safe or feasible to leave our homes, and we need to be able to take care of our loved ones at home. Regardless of what medical situation confronts us, that's what we need to be able to do. So that's one of the reasons why I teach the classes the way that I do. But guys, I think that it is essential at this point that you really accelerate your prep work. And I'm not even talking about storing stuff. I think skills are going to be very necessary. The ability to protect and defend yourself and your property is a very necessary thing. Make no mistake about it, these people who want to vote for Bernie Sanders, these people who love the state, they don't love the state, they love your labor. And they feel that they are entitled to your labor and that they're going to use the state to come and take it. Because odds are they're too weak themselves to be able to accomplish anything outside of sniveling and getting a bunch of useless toilet paper degrees to line their wall with. You need to accelerate your prep work, your skill work, your willingness to go and to train and to be prepared. Okay? It is coming. I don't know when. I can't tell you how fast. But things are cooking. That's all I have. I don't have a happy, holiday message for you guys. The point of reconciling our differences with these people is over. You got people in your lives who are socialist, ask yourself, why are they there? What do you have in common with somebody who feels entitled to your labor? Not only entitled to it, but they functionally feel like they can come in to your house and take at least 30% of your goods and services, and if you're unwilling to give it to them, then they're going to use the state. They're going to use their little thugs to come and do it. I know, by the way, they want to ban your weapons so that you can't defend yourself and you have no recourse to defend yourself against the state or them if they decide to come to it. Be ready. It's coming. For now, it's Patriot Nurse signing off, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.